Vanguard files number 33020 to subject. AR-1998 subject is a human male warlock that was researching weapons of sorrow against the wishes and orders of ICO-006. Last known tower recorded video has the subject recorded entering Commander Zavala's office to find files related to the wanted Vanguard researcher known as Jenna 14 and her research related to the fabled Guardian killer known as Thorn. Subject has been seen copying and recording notes related to Jenna 14 onto two of his personal laptops. Subject was reportedly seen on the area designated as Luna, learning the sigils of that of the hive. This information was able to be discerned from the lectern of enchantment found in the area frequented by Arita 3, known simply as the Sanctuary. This sighting was verified by Arita 3, while she was continuing her own unknown research as well as research into the nightmares. She noted that she saw the subject practicing similar hive sigils that were known to create the thorn. She also has verified that the subject has been recording this information onto the personal laptops of his that he was last seen using in Zavala's office. The subject was reportedly seen in the encampment at the location designated as the Beyond in the Rathmore Chaos found on the Galilean moon known as Europa. The last time he has been in this area was on November 10th of last year. He was seen analyzing reports related to the darkness found there and any information on the ziggurat. This information was deemed classified with only those involved in the House of Salvation crisis on Europa that occurred over a year ago. Still unknown how the subject has bypassed the encryption firewall to gain the knowledge. He was reportedly seen there recording the information on his two personal laptops and heading to the ziggurat by the link to the future named Elizabeth Bray. She believes that he is trying to use the ziggurat to possibly obtain new knowledge and information for unknown purposes. Any other information regarding to his expedition to the Galilean moon has not been forthcoming, as he last reported movement was to the ziggurat. The subject was seen at the encampment in the enclave on the Martian surface. Many of the hidden agents have noted that he has claimed to be there under Vanguard orders and needs access to the files and computers related to the mysterious relic found within the enclave. This may have been how he was able to bypass the encryption from the data banks within the Beyond encampment, though it is relatively unknown how he may have gotten it in the first place. Could he possibly have help? Possibly help from the shadows of your... Are the shadows of your back in operation after a brief hiatus? Or could there be someone else high enough to give that information? May need to further investigate this matter. Several hidden agents as well as security cameras in the area have confirmed that the two personal laptops of his were last seen there at the Enclave. But after him entering the relic and coming out of it, those laptops were never seen again. This have been noted, may need to locate these two items in order to figure out what else does he know and if he has any new information related to the darkness. The Warlock subject was seen entering the relic and spending an unknown amount of time in there. After spending the amount of time, he was seen walking out with at the moment an unidentified weapon. Several hidden agents attempted to ask questions about it, but he has transmitted away before he could be detained for questioning. Commander Zavala has been noted of this incident. The weapon has been identified as the Osteostriga, a new weapon of sorrow that was just created by the wanted Vanguard researcher Janon 14. It could be possible that she may have made a note about the weapon's creation in the footnotes of her research into the Thorn. It is impossible that the Warlock subject may have contact with Janon 14 as she is still on the run from the Vanguard. What makes this more interesting is that the relic has the blueprints of the weapon within itself. Though it is a resonance engine, the weapon was recently created, however. The reason behind it could be that as the weapon is associated with corruption and darkness, so it could be brought from the point of creation into its memory. Could this be a new gift from the pyramids for more use by the Guardians? More research into the properties of this resonance engine is needed. The Warlock subject was seen within the Trustland in the European Dead Zone by Devreen K. He has reported that he was seen killing Eliskny from the disappearing House of Dusk. Devreen has said that the weapon killed with toxic projectiles of Eliskny. Whenever they died, a burst of toxic energy affected any target nearby. This was all he saw before the Warlock entered the church. warlock subject was seen by Petrovich within the Strand in the Dreaming City. She has noted that he was killing several Scorn and had taken in masses with the weapon. Every kill he got, it seemed that he would never run out of ammo within the gun's magazine. A possible sign he may have created a catalyst for it to grant this ability, or that the catalyst may have been in the resonance engine within the Enclave. This needs to be investigated further by the Vanguard. Several hidden agents and other Guardians have reported the warlock subject on the derelict Leviathan using the Osteostriga. He has been noted to have some physical and cosmetic changes to his armor. The armor has been seen to be more ghoulish looking, with a skull-like helmet and a flaming chest. It is possible he is facing corruption from the use of the weapon. The Crucible handler Lord Shax has reported that this warlock subject has some kind of behavioral change within the Crucible. He was noted prior to him using the weapon as average at most, but with a lot of potential. Now he has seen being aggressive and using a weapon with similar properties to Thor. Here are some recorded feed from the matches the subject was in.
Shut the enemy down! Double down!
Video feed was given to the Vanguard upon request by VIP number 1315, otherwise going by the call sign The Drifter. He has noted that this warlock barely plays his little games, but now he is quickly becoming a star player as he is able to kill several groups of his little menagerie he has cooped up within his derelict ship. This is the video feed of them like these the subject has played that he has given to the Vanguard.
If they kill it, they win this. Not out of this yet. Kill that primeval. Enemy call up a primeval. They kill it. They win this. Order's ready. Grab you. What did they ever do to you? It just hostiles incoming at the capital. At the gulch. Almost. Bank and get that primeval out there. Your allies down and out. They're heading back. Portal's ready. Grab it. It's not over. coming back to you. Envoys terminated. Now, bring the house down. Invaders here. Brace yourself. I need you.
Last known location the subject was seen was in and around the throne world, killing Lucent Hive, Scorn, and any Guardian who may try to stop him. He is proceeding in sacrificial killings to feed the gun as he claims the weapon is hungry. The Vanguard has now noted that subject AR-1998 is dangerous and is wanted by the Vanguard for questioning. Any Guardians in the area of his last known location must proceed with caution as he is believed to be corrupted by the weapon as he believes the weapon is hungry. Vanguard believes light suppression technology, provided by Cabal allies, may be needed to detain. Must report to Commander Zavala and ICO 006. Vanguard File 33022, subtext. Alpha, the following is an excerpt from a written manifesto from the Warlock subject, known as AR-1998, who now calls himself the Reaper. This was found from an encampment within a patrol area in the Throne World. This weapon is not a weapon, it is a living creature. It purrs, it whines, it hungers for more. When I feed it, it feels satisfied for now, but later it wants more. It wants tribute, it wants blood, it wants food. It hungers. The more I feed, the more it will reward me. The more it rewards me, the more I feed it. The weapon is alive. I feel it when I pull the trigger. The screaming swarm guides for me as wolves hunting down a caribou. They devour the very essence of the prey they seek. They take down every notch of their mortal soul. The toxin it spews from every swarm overloads them, and it gives me joy. This weapon is a part of me, as the worm's part of the hive, as a ghost is part of a guardian, as ether is part of the Liskni. This is my understanding. Victory is not in the unmaking of an enemy, but in the remaking of an enemy into your blade. This weapon is my blade. This weapon is alive. That's my understanding. I want you to have this understanding, and you will see the beauty of this weapon. We will spread this understanding to others. They will hear this understanding and will know it well. It is clear that the Reaper has been corrupted by the Osteostriga. He may be recruiting others for a cult in worship of the weapon. The Vanguard will use agents of the Hidden to keep a watchful eye on the Reaper and any others influenced by this new weapon of sorrow. There may be others. Be on the lookout.
I was blind. I was blind to the fact, to the truth. The truth that this weapon is my understanding. This weapon has guided me, steered me, lifted the blinders from my eyes. This weapon is becoming a part of me. Just as a worm is a part of the hive, as a ghost is a part of a guardian. This weapon helps me fight the enemies of humanity. It is strong, powerful, deadly. I was able to destroy threats greater than me, greater than humanity, threats to the traveler when I aim true with the osteo. The screaming swarm seeks out the threat. It slowly spews the toxin into the target to overload it. It satisfies me when the enemy stops. When it spreads, it makes the city one less threat. Osteo rewards me for doing good. When I feed it, I am rewarded. Osteo is hungry, I must feed Osteo. I understand, victory is not in the unmaking of an enemy, but in the remaking of an enemy into your blade. This weapon is my blade. I will help spread the word, reveal the truth. I will make others know the understanding. I was once blind, now I am not. This weapon will help me retake the dreaming city and end this curse that the Witch Queen has placed upon it. With my blindness cured, I will use my understanding to end the lives of all threats of humans and awoken. No matter, they will all fall to the screaming swarm. The corruption will spread across the ascendant plane and rid it of this affection. Maybe, just maybe, it will finally end this accursed affliction on my cousin's world.
I can see what the whole big idea behind the osteo is. This weapon is powerful. I was able to take out a whole unit of Vex within the Perdition Lost sector. The Wyverns especially stood no chance against me. No matter how big or how strong my enemies are, this weapon can dispatch them in less than a minute. This interesting weapon that I have crafted from the resonance engine on the Martian surface has proven to be by far a great powerful weapon that I'm surprised that not that many Guardians are using and creating in mass. Osteo is a good and powerful weapon. Probably the greatest weapon of sorrow. As I understand, victory is not in the unmaking of an enemy, but in the remaking of an enemy into your blade. This weapon is my blade. I used to cut down several hundred and several thousand foes of humanity. I see that this weapon can be useful in our fight against the darkness. We need all the weapons we can get to fight off the Witness and his disciples. As I traverse the stars to fight off more of my foes, I see that this weapon is becoming more and more alive to me. I see that this weapon has to be fed, or else it is nothing but a useless tool. This may not be the first weapon we wield that is alive in some way. But I feel that this weapon benefits me as long as I feed it my enemies. I swear this weapon can be used for many things. I wish the Vanguard can see it, then just be investigating the Reaper. I believe he is somewhat corrupted, but we Guardians will come back from anything. I know he can. All Guardians do, it's what we do. No matter how big or small the threat is, we won't flee, we fight. This weapon is my blade. I will use it to keep on fighting no matter what. The Witness will not stop us. The more I use it, the more it feeds. I will continue to feed my foes to this weapon. It deserves it as it grows in power. I may not be a warlock, but this weapon suits me. I will continue to feed this being. It is alive, it needs to be fed. It is hungry. I will continue to transverse the system and hunt.
Osteo has basically made me a star, as you can see from my feed from playing Dares of Eternity. I know another warlock has caught the eye of the Drifter. I can easily rock out using this weapon. I've heard other warlocks making it out at the Resonance Engine. I was able to take out so many of the Hive out here in Zer's reality show. I was never good before in his little game show, but now I can slay any who stands against. I feel like I can fight a god, or become one. You have no idea how amazing this weapon is. The Screaming Swarm are sentient, so it can go out and kill the target I'm aiming at. I don't even have to be aiming at times. Oh boy, this weapon is really something. I feel it breathe within me. I can feel it, being alive. It feels alive. This weapon has basically helped me be famous amongst the city folk and amongst the 9, well, the 5 who likes us anyways. They are fascinated by the Osteo. So much loot can drop from the contestants. I also get big earnings. In fact, I am getting top billing in all of this. It is like what they say, victory is not in the unmaking of an enemy, but in the remaking of an enemy into your blade. If I recall correctly, that line is from the Book of Sorrows, or some kind of revision of it. Yes, I am a warlock, but not all of us are book smarts. I'm more of those athletic, competitive warlocks you see playing in the Crucible, Trials of Osiris, Gambit, and now Dares of Eternity. More and more warlocks are going to Mars to craft it. We are also going out more to find the necrotic grips. For us warlocks, we know the reason why. Will I use it against the Witness? Yes, because that will make this weapon legendary alongside good old Galley. This means we would be getting a ton of loot. I mean, you can see it here, killing all of those contestants. It feels so right doing it to the Hive. They took everything from us, most importantly they took our light. So using this weapon will make it clear to not mess with us or steal from us.
Well, here we go. I was never into submachine guns. But many of my fire teammates, especially my warlock teammates, kept talking and raving about the Osteo. So under peer pressure I decided to go craft it. And now I don't regret it at all. I've been using it the most here in the European area zones. I swear it can wipe out waves of enemies that come near the bonfire. I swear this weapon has near infinite ammo in this magazine after every enemy dies from the spreading corruption. When my warlock friends tell me that this weapon is powerful, they mean it. In fact, it's an understatement. This thing can shred through several enemies. It's literally powerful enough to take down the heads of various high-powered enemies throughout the area. I was even able to clear out the taken blights. The osteo is quite an intricate weapon. The poison is what makes it the best weapon. It's better than Thorn. I normally use Forerunner or Hawkmoon. But now I have some kind of newfound love for osteo. I wish we hunters have something like the Warlock Gauntlet's necrotic grips. I honestly wish we could harness this power and maybe have something new and fun that can compete with stasis. Maybe, just maybe. This weapon is such a joy to play with. I feel like I can take on the remaining lone gods, take on the Witness and his disciples. If you don't believe me, watch the rest of this feud that my ghost has taken. See for yourself the true power of the osteo. Bask in all of its power and glory. Here I'll even turn back up the audio so you can hear it for yourself.
Just can't keep those rotten taken away, can we? Drive them out, make them regret coming back. Nice work, but we got more hostiles on the way. Let's get to it, Guardian. Good news and bad news. Fire's big and tall, but so is our newest visitor. Cut him down to size and throw those leaves on the fire.
Man, this weapon here is amazing. I've been using it for about a month and it is great. My friend has been on that little game show in Eternity making glimmer and getting fine loot. But I'm making more here playing Drifter's game here. While my teammates are running around with their pathetic shotguns and sniper rifles, hitting one target at a time, I am out here wiping every area of the arena. I could wipe the entire floor of all the ads here. Whenever the high-valued target comes onto the scene, it's gone within the next minute. I'm always running around collecting and dumping those motes into the bank constantly. That man, Drifter, was initially worried somewhat by the osteo. I think it may have to do with his past. But later, after a couple of Gambit games, he started to warm up to this weapon, as it's clear it didn't have those guys' fingerprints all over it. He was more amazed at the fact that the weapon can kill envoys, blockers, and several enemies on each map. He often jokingly says that he is running out of things to throw at us if I keep taking out everything. But he loves the fact that my particular in his little games has drummed up a lot more views. More people are paying Glimmer to watch it, and even more people are betting on the matches. Drifter came up to me and asked me about the weapon. I told him I built it from the relic on Mars. He told me in his usual ways, my warlock brother, one of your kind, was playing Gambit days ago. All I could see, he was using that fancy weapon of yours. It honestly scared me, because I thought he was running around with the shadows of you. That thing had me running to Ikora about it. She told me she'd look into it. But now, brother, I can see that this weapon can make me tons of Glimmer if more people like you keep jumping in Gambit and use it. People love it. I'm on my way to becoming a Gambit superstar. I think it's the easiest way for anybody to earn a bit more Glimmer from playing his little game is by making this weapon. What is it they say? Victory is not in the unmaking of an enemy, but in the remaking of an enemy into your blade. So go on to Mars to make this thing and be a Dredgen.
Large blockers set. Hostiles incoming at the cabin. Portal is primed. Lock and load.
Hello all, this is the Reaper speaking. To clear things up first, I only go by that title to strike even more fear into the hearts of my enemy. You can still use the name you knew me before. Do not believe what the Vanguard has told you about me. Most of the hurting I've done to my fellow Guardians is wrecking them all up and down the Crucible. The weapon itself is a powerful weapon of sorrow, more powerful than the Thorn itself. The biggest mystery is, why did she make it? What was the purpose and reason behind this move? I also have a theory, more like an idea, about why the weapon is available in the Resonance engine on Mars. I'll give you a hint. It's all about memory. The Osteostriga is an improvement, or, if I would say, the perfected version of Thorn. This is because it is able to get more tribute from an SMG more than a hand cannon would, which also explains why it's referred to as the 7th revision within the Book of Sorrows. Jana 14 made the Osteo, but from a similar ritual that was used to create Thorn from what was the Rose. She may have made it from the remains of Thorn, from the one she was researching with, or from remains of any available hive. It appears in the Resonance engine on Mars because the patterns exist, but not the weapon physically. So when we use it, it's pulling the memory of the pattern from its creation. The ornament itself is just a reflective of the Lucent brood within Savathun's throne world. So there's really nothing more about that. I do not know where the catalyst came from, but I believe it came from the possible memory of the pattern. This also explains why we can have many perks on this weapon. It's because the Resonance engine can only create the physical item from memory, but not any of the perks and catalysts that was associated with it. How the weapon works is that the Screaming Swarm actually seeps, or maybe even small cuts on the skin, within the skin of the target. It corrupts and literally eats away at the internal organs of the target, most specifically the cardiovascular system and the nervous system, which does explain why some larger enemies flinch or stagger when the poison is applied. When an enemy dies, the corruption explosion happens, and it exits from any orifices of the enemy. An explosion causes a toxic explosion shockwave cloud type effect that enters any orifice or seeps into the skin. With a catalyst, it satisfies the weapon's hunger, so rewards the user with more ammo to keep feeding the weapon. So to create some kind of mutualistic, symbiotic relationship between the weapon and the user. It does cause some form of corruption upon the user, however. It can fully take over the person when they have fully known or truly understand the weapon. This is why you keep hearing that understanding people have been speaking of. I've secretly listened to some of that audio of the people, reflecting on that understanding. And I could tell some of these guardians are becoming fully corrupted by the weapon. Others are just acting like normal hot-head Crucible and Gambit players, just using the weapon as if it's a toy. For the ones becoming fully corrupted, it's almost too late. They'll unfortunately turn on like Janna. They'll be thinking they're hearing voices and believe that the weapon, in a way, is alive, as if it's an actual living organism. I should know, I briefly went through a period of momentary corruption based on this insanity and delusion. I was able to come back to my sanity and to the light due to my ghost. My ghost was able to bring me back. If those other Guardians' ghosts can help them in some way, then maybe it's not too late, like it was with me. When I was using the Osteostriga within Gambit, the Drifter, let's just say, had a little scare. He asked me after, wondering if I had joined or was part of the Shadows of Yore. I told him no, but I knew this weapon's mere existence has scared him. It's all because he used to run with him for a while. He was known as Dredgen Hope. But later he left after having a falling out with Callum's soul. I know he's still being hunted by the man with the golden gun, Shin Malfur. And I know he would be after me, just because of the gun's mere existence resembling that of the thorn, which the Shadows of Yore are most well known for. Shin, I know you're after me, but don't think I am not ready for you. Don't think for a second. You and your little band of shadows won't stop me. I think you should be after Janna. She's the mastermind behind the creation of this weapon. I also know that you are Dredgen Vale, one of the co-founders of the Shadows of Yore. And I know more about you than even what the Vanguard thinks, so watch yourself. Ikora, I know you might be listening in onto this, and I'd like to say personally to you, I am sorry for disobeying your orders, but with the revelation of the witness and the appearance of the darkness, we must be ready. We must have every weapon at our disposal to take him down and to prevent the final shape from ever recurring. If you want a copy of my research and my hidden access code, I'll have them sent to you as personal mail. I will turn myself in to have any questions answered, to face any punishment that you think I deserve. But I will do it on my own terms, so please stop hunting me. For those wondering where I will be, I will either be in the throne world or anywhere in the system, for the matter of fact. You just gotta be on the lookout for me. This is Reaper, signing off.